From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are looking at some rain that approached the coast this morning, and that's where we've seen the bulk and the heaviest amount of rainfall. You can see just how strong that cold front was, bringing some heavy rainfall for some. And there was even a lightning strike down to the south, just north of Ukiah. You can see as it loses its strength, as it does move through the valley here, but you can see some of the rain moving to the valley. Now, this is as of about 11:30 this morning, where we're seeing that main cold front pushing through the valley. And then, of course, it will continue to push eastward, but also weaken as it does so. So you can see how we're not seeing a ton of rain for the valley, and we're not going to see a ton of rain off for the mountains to the east as well. So let's go and take a look at some of the rainfall totals we've seen in the last 24 hours. Now, this is not going to take into account what we've seen here in the valley so far. This is as of about 11 o'clock this morning that we're seeing here. So again, as expected, most of the rain has been along the coast, with about 1/2 inch for Eureka, Crescent City, a little bit less than that heading eastward into the inland areas. Hoopa, about 3/4 of an inch of rainfall, much less than that in Trinity County. And as I mentioned, this is not taking into account the amount of rainfall that we have seen in the valley, but I can assure you that really, for most of us, haven't seen much in the way of rainfall, and probably won't see much more as the system continues to push itself off to the east. Here you can see a shot from Crescent City out at the Battery Point area. Still looking at those overcast skies, a little drizzly out there, some light showers. You can see this is out in Elk Country north of Trinidad. Of course, the wet pavement out there. Looks like we're trying to see some of the clouds break up a little bit here, but still a lot of cloud cover, and not to mention some scattered showers. This is what Redding looks like. Of course, we've seen a lot of the overcast skies here through the morning as the cold front was approaching, and of course saw some of that rain as well. But it didn't last for very long for most of us, and it didn't amount to much. So you can see the main cold front is situated right here. It's now beginning to move through the valley and will be east of the valley through the afternoon. There's going to be some clearing coming in behind that. And then we've got another storm system, which will be here by Tuesday, tomorrow. So colder air coming in behind the cold front. Temperatures not warming up a whole lot. There will be some clearing, though. I think some of us will see some sunshine peek through those clouds here later this afternoon. Cooler air moving in. And again, those temperatures are going to continue to drop, and there's that next storm system coming in on Tuesday. So let's take a look at Futurecast, and there you can see that cold front just kind of pushing through to the east of the valley. So Redding, Red Bluff, Chico, eventually, of course, seeing some of that rain as well. Then we push you through the afternoon hours, about 3 p.m. Now the cold front is very indistinguishable at this point, but it is producing a little bit of shower activity off over the eastern mountains. We could see some breaks in the clouds, especially for the valley. Still some leftover instability for the mountains off to the west, and not to mention the north coast. So as we take into about 6 p.m. this afternoon and evening, we could even see some clearing off in the eastern mountains as well, and then dry conditions here as we go into the evening, and not to mention many of the overnight hours as well here. And then Tuesday is the next storm system coming in. There you can see 6 a.m. on Tuesday. It's mainly in Del Norte County, western Siskiyou, and northern Humboldt County, where we're seeing the rain begin to move on in. Now, this storm system on Tuesday, not as strong. It's a little bit colder, so we're beginning to see more snow kind of popping up on the map here. Now, when I say that, we're not looking at very low snow levels. You're going to have to go up pretty high in elevation before you start seeing that. So you start heading to the higher Trinity Alps. I mean, that's a rain-snow mix that we're seeing right there. There's, of course, the mountain of Mount Shasta. You're seeing some snow. You'll obviously see some snow over the higher mountain peak there. But otherwise, scattered showers and maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. And then we go into the noon hour. We're seeing some of the light showers spread into the valley, and not to mention the eastern mountains. But the heavier rainfall will be combined in Modoc County, Siskiyou County, Trinity County, not to mention even parts of Del Norte and Humboldt counties. But by 3 p.m. on Tuesday, it's really starting to kind of break apart, and just a few scattered sprinkles and light showers through the afternoon on Tuesday. However, you see we have a lot of instability kind of pushing through Modoc County, not only tomorrow afternoon, but look at this as we go into tomorrow night. This is going to be Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning at midnight. Still some instability moving through the Modoc County area. There you can see some of the snow making its way into parts of the higher elevations of Modoc County, not to mention in Trinity County as well. So we will probably see a nice little dusting of snow over some of those higher elevations for many of the mountain locations here. There you can see we are going to be looking at Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Things are starting to dry out, and we're beginning to clear things out as we go into Wednesday afternoon, getting a break. And that'll be the case on Thursday as well. Now, rainfall total estimates. This is taking a look at today and tomorrow combined. You know, I think there are going to be parts of the North Coast that could see over an inch of rainfall, but a half an inch to an inch there. And you'll notice as you start heading eastward, you're just not seeing as much rainfall. And there you can see less rainfall for the valley, and not to mention the eastern mountains. Now, you know, parts of Modoc County could see some decent amounts of rainfall, especially if you start seeing some of those heavier showers move through Tuesday. But bottom line, this is where the heaviest activity is and where it's expected to typically be with these types of storms, and you start seeing less as you head off to the east. All right, let's take a look at the long range now. Thursday looks dry as well. Now, once we get into Friday through the weekend, we're seeing some inconsistencies in the long range forecast models. So bottom line is this. There could be a chance, especially for the coast, starting as early as Friday night, Saturday, and possibly even Sunday as well, although this particular forecast model keeps it dry on Sunday with most of the rain staying up to our north. Bottom line is, let's get through the next couple of days, and then we'll start focusing on what we can expect as we go into the weekend. Now, as you know, we do have the solar eclipse, right? It's known as the annular eclipse, Saturday morning. It's about an 80 to 85% for most of us, of 80 to 85% eclipse of the sun, that is, from the moon on Saturday morning. And if it's overcast, that could create problems. I mean, Alturas will get that full annular eclipse where you get that ring around the sun, but around the moon, that is kind of that ring of fire as it's known, and not to mention into many parts of Oregon as well. The problem is if we have the clouds, it'll be hard for us to view it. So we'll certainly keep a close eye on that forecast for you, keep you updated as we get closer to the weekend. Those wave heights about 7 to 9 feet here for this afternoon, and looks like they're going to even get higher as we go into Tuesday as storm system number 2 begins to move on through. Your marine forecast, south winds at 10 to 20 knots, waves from the southwest at 4 feet at 9 seconds. And of course, we've got those rain showers throughout the day today. Here's what it looks like for today, and it looks like we've got mostly cloudy skies. Now, there will be some clearing this afternoon, but we're not going to warm up a whole lot. If we get enough clearing and it clears out soon enough, yeah, we could probably pop into the 70s for some of us in the valley today. And of course, you can see the mountains in the 50s and 60s, and not to mention out along the coast as well. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. We'll kind of walk you through each region. Here's Mount Shasta and Siskiyou County in general. Today, tomorrow, the rain. Dry for Wednesday, and I'm keeping it dry all the way through the weekend. That may change, though, especially as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Alturas, Modoc County, yeah, today, tomorrow, and also I'm going to keep you dry here through the weekend, and not to mention Susanville and the Eastern Mountains with that chance for rain today and tomorrow, but not a lot in the Eastern Mountains, by the way. There's a look at the valley. Showers for today and slimmer, let's just say less rain for your Tuesday. Let's put it that way. And then Wednesday through the weekend, I'm keeping the valley dry as well. And most likely, even if we do see that chance for rain over the weekend, most of it will be in the mountains and along the coast. All right, speaking of the coast, here it is today and tomorrow, not to mention inland and for Weaverville and Trinity County. The rain will be heaviest there, even with Tuesday's system. Wednesday, Thursday it dries out, and most likely through most of the day on Friday. Now, I've included a chance for showers for the coast for both Saturday and Sunday. I've included a chance for showers inland and Trinity County for Saturday, and then taking it out on Sunday. But again, bottom line, what we see here basically for Friday through the weekend, we're going to have to keep a close eye on that because we're seeing a lot of, like I said, a lot of inconsistency in those long-range forecast models. So let's get through today. Let's get through tomorrow and that rain. And then as we get closer to the weekend, we'll definitely get a better handle on what's happening with that rain as we go into the weekend.